How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the House of Business Podcast. It's your host, Caleb Thompson. We are back again. We're live from Manhattan. I was going to do this from the rooftop, and I may finish it on the rooftop plaza on 40th Street. It's a beautiful place overlooking the city. Unfortunately, I'm not there at the moment, but I probably will record that next time. But welcome back to the House of Business Podcast. I'd like to thank everyone for taking time out to check out any of our stores. We will be launching a new store, which will be the Ivy Chapter Book and Gift Store, which is a store for entrepreneurs, which will come with 4-pack bundles for different subjects. So with that, we have the marketing and branding bundle, the finance and operations bundle with books kind of like No Profit First, sales and customer experience, which a customer experience bundle, which are packages. And we will have books like Customer Success by Nick Minta, The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. And we also have a mindset and leadership package, book package, and business planning and strategy bundle as well, which will have books kind of like Start With Why with Simon Sinek, the One-Page Business Plan with Jim Horn, Good Strategy, Bad Strategy by Richard Rumelt. So all that will launch coming soon, probably Memorial Day or a little bit after Memorial Day. It just depends. We never really just put a deadline on that particular project. And if we did, we may have. And if we did, we will meet that deadline. So I have to check that, or I have to make some calls and kind of see where we are, our project manager, and kind of see exactly where we are on that particular project. But it will be launching soon. I do believe the last update that we had, everything was, the foundation was laid, the website was up and running. Next thing we just need to do is just order that inventory and put those, get the content ready for for launch. So that's where we are with that. But check out some other. We have Times Square Toy Store, which is an online store of e-commerce, which is attached to a charity drive. We have 2 drop-off locations for toys. We will be taking those toys to the Manhattan Children's Center, Include NYC, and the Block Institute of Brooklyn. So if any of you guys can contact me personally at 917-487-8061. That is a number for Times Square Gardens Restaurant Company that is also involved in that toy charity drive. So you guys can call me there, Caleb Thompson. You will get me personally. And if you have toys or you're in the New York City area, I will meet you for drop off, and then we will take those toys to the Children's Center or to the Block Institute. So, or you can go with us, take some pictures. We'll also list you as a sponsor for that drive. And it's in June. I believe it's in June. It's in June, but we will take those donations and give you a slip for a tax write-off. So just stay tuned for that. This is the House of Business Podcast 2.0. Like I said, I'm your host, Caleb Thompson, and this is the place where we give you the knowledge and the tools to execute your dreams and visions. So today we're going to have a good one. This particular episode, I believe this is like episode 32. So we're on episode 32. So we do have, I believe, we gained probably 15, 16 subscribers within the last week. That's good. So, cheers to that. Thank you guys for subscribing to this channel. Any of this information that you cannot use on your small business, you can forward this information to someone that you know that would be grateful, you know what I mean, to get this business and apply to their own business. So this episode is called Late Nights, Early Flights. So we're going to late nights, early flights. And with this episode, Late Night, Early Flights, what we basically are talking about here is a mental destination. Now, there have been times where I've had late nights working, laying the foundation, have things working against me. I'm homeless, going through homelessness, while still trying to build a business, going through the midst of chaos, envy, betrayal, for some of the ones that's closest to you, while still trying to build a business, build resilience, and be brave in the midst of that chaos. So this late nights, early flights, I'm going to give you 3 talk points like I always do. I'm going to give you 3 talk points. The first talk point would be the journey within. Number 2 would be breaking limits at 30,000 feet. And number 3 would be from luggage to lessons. So as we go over all 3 of these talk points, this is called late nights, early flights once again. And I just want to give you a mental picture of the destination where you're trying to get to. You're trying to get to a mindset where you're resilient. You're trying to get to a mindset where you can understand balance. What I mean by balance is you have everyone's different. Everyone's journey is different, but the journey within, some things that I'm dealing with or I've overcome, you don't have those problems, but you do have to know yourself. You do have to know yourself good enough to the point where you can hold yourself accountable, accountable for things that you know that you're lacking in. Now, some areas you're just not lacking in, you just don't have the opportunity, or some areas you don't know you're lacking in, you just haven't had the opportunity, or a situation hasn't came to head to the point where it can reveal to you that you're lacking in that area, or that you're strong in that area. So number 1 is the journey within. And I just went, while the flights, and this is something that I wrote, so while the flights and time zones were wild, the real trip was internal. I'm going to talk about how chaos of late nights and new places, became a mirror for my mindset, which I'm discussing, showing me where I was still playing small, what I feared, and where growth was waiting if I just leaned in. So the journey is within. You have to face those fears. I've been in plenty of situations where I felt like, man, I'm just shrinking back just for comfortability, just to be patient until that opportunity comes. But the truth is, the opportunity comes when you walk in your authenticity. That's despite what anybody thinks, despite what anyone says. That is when you're ready to be launched. That is leaning in, and you are attracting the opportunity for you to execute your values in the marketplace, or you are attracting the opportunity for you to reveal who you are. Not what people see on the internet, not what people think you are, but you will attract the right opportunity at the right time so that you can execute everything that you've been planning in the dark, everything that you learned during the process of building who you are. You will have an opportunity to show that. Sometimes you only get one shot. Sometimes you don't get another chance. But if you do ever get more than one chance to do that, man, take it as being very rare. So you get that first shot, man, just give it all you got and just move forward. So, like I said, it all starts with the journey within. There are self-help books, and there are things that can help you to start to deal with areas that you're lacking in. Time management. We'll start with time management. That's a big thing. Developing a routine and executing that routine, that builds resilience, and that also builds learning how to keep your commitments as well. So all those things are internal, and those are internal things. Write down where you want to be within the next year. If you want to be more loving, more caring, or if you want to, sometimes it's that part of internal, that internal diagram that you want to work with, within that frame. So it's not always I want to be more resilient, I want to have more grit, I want to have more hustle, I want to make more, I want to be better at sales. It's not always that. Sometimes people just want to be more patient, but there is a process that can help you to be more patient. You want to be more patient? Go stand in a long line. Not saying that we have the time to do that as being a C-suite executive, or being a leader, or being someone that's in a position of authority. You don't have time to really just sit in long lines, but there are other ways that you can execute or train to be patient, whether it's with your kids, your spouse, whether it's with a client. So just taking that extra time to get to know them, that can develop patience. Number 2, breaking limits at 30,000 feet. There's something about being in motion above the clouds that forces you to reflect. As you're on a plane, when you get to a certain level, you have motion, but it's not all about the motion. It's about getting to a place during that motion where you can start to reflect not only from where you came from, but also where you're going. But you have to be present in that very moment. And that very moment is a place for you to be present, but also for you to be grateful. It's a lot of people that I was so focused on the future, or so thankful about the past, that present moment just slipped away from me, man. That's just that enjoyment, just that peace, within the present moment of everything that I've accomplished, everything that I've came from, and just the vision, the passion to execute the vision of where I'm going. All that consumed me and totally made me miss out on the peaceful moment of what was happening at that moment. So you have to be careful. You have to live in the present, but do not be stuck in the present. Also have a plan for the future and be grateful for the past that led you up to the present moment. So I just basically just shared how being constantly on the go, it helped me to break out of old mental patterns. So when you go from place to place, you start to develop you start to get a piece of everything. Like I said, I used to travel a lot as a kid. I traveled as an adult as a traveling chef. I traveled all over the U.S. But every place, town, city that you go, you always pick up something. I don't care if it's slang. I don't care if it's a cultural dish. I don't care if it's a style, a trendy style that's fashionable in that area. Wherever you go, if you will pick up something from those places. So what I want you to understand, constantly being on the go helps you to break out of old mental patterns, because you will develop or adopt other ideologies from other individuals as you start to live in those places. So it helps you also to detach from comfort. So as you're always on the go, going from place to place, it also helps you to detach from comfort. And what I mean by that is this. Sometimes you will go to a place where you'll be forced out of that place. And that's a good thing. You never want to be in a place where you're stagnant, but you also want to, what I mean by that, you want to be stable within your business, stable within your family, stable as in a sense of having a foundation or building a foundation, but you never want to be stagnant. You can be stable in who you are, your authenticity, who you are as a person. You can be stable in, stable doesn't mean stagnancy. I can be stable and say, this is the place that we're going to live. This is the place the business is going to be. But if opportunity comes, I'm not going to be stagnant. I'm always flexible, adaptable in any circumstance or at any time to move to the next level. So that's the difference between being stable and being stagnant, or being comfortably stagnant. And it helps to break out of those old mental patterns. You go from place to place, helps you to detach from comfort zones and start thinking like the next version of yourself. That is the only way that, by not being stagnant, that's the only way that you can basically achieve the next version of yourself. So, number one was the journey within. Number two is break the limits at 30,000 feet. And this last one is from luggage to lessons. So I want you to understand that every missed flight, every lost bag, or sleepless night came with its own spiritual insight. In this episode, I basically revealed how I turned setbacks into strategy, and how travel became a training ground for upgrading my patience, perspective, and purpose. So I basically use, in this episode, it's called Late Nights, Early Flights. Late nights, early flights. And what we basically did is we took the experience from taking a trip and applied that to our mentality or our mindset. Basically saying that our mindset has to be is going to a certain destination where we want to be. So within that context of taking a flight, we basically said that we're going from here to here, but there is a process to get there. There might be lost bags, sleepless nights, but within all that that pertains to life, lost bags. Sometimes you may lose customers. Sometimes you may lose friends or family chasing your dreams. Sometimes those people may abandon you just for the choices that you make of trying to pursue something that they don't understand. So that's a lost bag. sleepless nights, staying up to make sure that you execute or you dominate or bring to life or bring to visibility a plan that no one understands. No one knows what you're doing. Everyone thinks that you're crazy, but you know exactly where you're headed and what you're trying to do. So that's a sleepless night, and staying up to build that dream. So number three was from luggage to lessons. From luggage to lessons. So within this whole episode, late nights, early flights, I just basically want you guys to understand that the journey to entrepreneurship starts within. It starts with your why. Why do you want to do it? I was just building a business integration system or business integration strategy, and we also added a checklist, which is a business structure checklist on how to create a business with 13 steps. So I actually did that as well, and had that as part of that business integration strategy, from starting with the business foundation, the checklist, and how you can create any business from this checklist. Now, you will have to do some research on that particular business sector, but this checklist will, if you want to start a coffee shop, this checklist will help you to start that coffee shop. Now, it doesn't tell you how to make coffee, but it helps you to structure the business to the point that some things you don't need to know how to do if you have the capital to pay someone to do it. I don't need to know how to do how to wash cars if I have the business and if I can pay someone for the time that's an expert at washing the car. I'm not going to try to outwash him. He's a professional at it. So why not pay him what his value or what he's worth? And I don't have to sit there all day washing cars. I would just pay someone. So you don't need to know how to do everything, but what you do need to know how to do is run any company or be knowledgeable about any company that you are putting in the marketplace. And also, someone once told me, said, you have to validate that idea. I believe that you shouldn't validate an idea. If I believe it's something that you're passionate about, something that you believe that is valuable to yourself, the marketplace will make room for an idea that isn't quickly snuffed out. Now, if you're telling your friends, you're telling your family, and they're trying to discourage you because they don't have the balls to, they're not fearless enough to, to throw themselves out there, to be rejected, to be mocked for something that they're passionate about. Sometimes they would try to stop you from doing it. So you do not have to validate every idea before it hits the marketplace. The marketplace will make room for great ideas if you continue to be resilient and continue to be committed to that vision or that passion that you have, or that original passion or that original idea. It will make room for you. So once again, this is the House of Business Podcast 2.0. This is your host, Caleb Thompson. This is the place where we give you the knowledge and tools to execute your dreams and visions. Man, just like I said earlier, we do have a toy drive. We have 2 locations that you guys can drop off toys. You can contact me personally, and I will come and meet you if we have to take the subway or whatever we have to do to gather those toys before June. And it's been a good one, man. Thank you guys again for checking out some of our stores. I gave you a list earlier. If you will go to LinkedIn, we have another list there. We also have the Gentleman's Tuxedo Lounge Barber Supply, which has a lot of great things. Anyone that's a barber that's in town in the New York City area. We do have supplies as well. We have Gotham Fitness Supply. Anyone that's into fitness, we do have inventory as well that can help them on their fitness journey. So we'll be back here 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's been a good one. Peace.